Hi, I'm Dr. Trish Sherwood from Sophia College, and I've written books on clay therapy. Clay therapy is a wonderful way of getting to the heart and soul of our human emotional life. We all know as human beings how hard it is to sort of grab an emotion and look at it in the face and even know what's going on most of the time, let alone touch it or shape it or feel it in our hands. We all find working with our emotions difficult. And clay is a wonderful therapy because it lets us touch it, feel it, shape it, move it. It makes the intangible touchable, the unknowable knowable, that which we can't even comprehend within us, viewable and visible and comprehensible. And so clay's got a great deal to offer us. It's particularly fantastic for adolescents who don't want to talk about it. Male clients who don't like talking at all about their inner life. It's a secret, silent method of working therapeutically that is powerful and penetrating, enables enormous emotional release and transformation without really the person ever having to tell you anything about what's going on. Although you can do that as well. Clay therapy can be used for anger, it can be used for fear, for grief and loss, in a strongly silent way. Clay therapy can also be used to enable people to develop communication skills so they can actually see in the clay what another person is feeling and experiencing, which otherwise they can only guess at or not even notice. So I'm going to just show you a very small exercise today in empathy creation. We've all got lots of problems around with bullying, at schools, in the offices, in the workplace. People don't even understand what bullying looks like a lot of the time, or what's the emotional state underlying it. So finally we get to understand that it's a lack of empathy that runs bullying and unskillful human relationships. So how do we actually work out our empathy levels, and how do we actually see it, and how do we actually transform it? Some of us have got too much empathy, and we end up being doormats. Others of us haven't got enough empathy, and we're prone to becoming bullies or tyrants or dominating at the best of times. So how do we check out if we've got enough empathy, if we've got too much? Can we actually see our empathy? And once we've seen it, can we then identify whether we've got too much or not enough? And how do we get accurate empathy? So we're accurately in touch with what's going on around us without allowing ourselves to be doormats and walked over, or without becoming bullies and dominating and oppressing those around us. So this is a simple exercise. It can be done by children, it can be done by adolescents, it can be done by adults, in getting insight into what empathy looks like and assessing whether I've got too much or too little empathy. Then leaves the possibility open as to what you can do about it. So, to help me demonstrate this, I'm working with Yano, and it's got 3 stages to this. I'm going to be sharing with Yano a story, an incident of something that happened to me, and then he's going to demonstrate using his empathy 3 responses. So response 1, I'm going to tell him a story, and he's simply going to tell me his immediate response to the story by making it in clay, without any words at all. And so I'm going to tell him the story. So Yano, I've got a rat problem at my house. It's been a really big problem. They're in the ceiling, they're everywhere. It's been an endemic problem on the farm. And I started by being compassionate, but you know, when you've got 50 or 80 rats, it's getting a bit much. Traps don't work, and so on and so on. Poisoning them is not compassionate. Besides, they become immune to poisons anyway, and it goes on. And I thought about this. There's this new rat trap, which is big sticky strips, and you put them on tables. They're about 3 inches by 6 inches, and they catch rats. Well, somehow they're meant to catch rats. And then, of course, you can take the rat for a journey or dispose of it. So I'd put one out on the outdoor table because I was really tired of half a dozen rats sleeping on it every night and leaving behind evidence that they'd been there. I was just so tired and exhausted and frustrated from all of these rats doing this. And went inside, it was the early morning, came out, and there was something on the table. was sort of flapping and moving. And I went, oh, that's quick to catch a rat. I've only just been indoors. And I looked down there and there was this little robin redbreast. And it was heartbreaking. One wing was totally enmeshed in the glue. Its feet were stuck in the glue. Its little beak was in the glue. And I love robin redbreasts. And I sat with this and first I felt really anxious. What am I going to do? How am I going to get it out? And I started to run around and stress and it was really difficult. Yeah, and then I sat with it for a while and spent the next half hour getting it out. And of course it lost feathers on one wing, so its survival chances weren't going to be very good.